Hey YouTube, this is Scarecrow Kaiser. I'm going to do a deck profile of a gold paladin deck. It won't be a Spectral Duke Dragon build. I haven't really changed mine since the last I showed you. But this is more like the previous gold paladin build that people were playing, where you run Azel and Garamore. This version though, I really like this version of it. I never got around to making a deck profile of this, so this build is focused on hitting the 20-21 marks, like pretty much with every single attack you could do. Just throwing really big attacks out there and forcing them real quickly to have to start taking heavy minuses to survive, and it's just basically a beat stick deck, which is what this version of Gold Paladin's good at. So let's get started with the graded 3s. Got 2 Azel. You don't need more, you just mostly run it for the superior ride. I really like Azel. It's probably the best superior ride that there is in the game, since you don't really minus yourself doing it. And normally you don't really want Azel as your Vanguard, but it's not a bad alternative. It's pretty good. This card easily swings for unblockable numbers while getting you +1s at the same time. Next we have 4 Garamore, probably the best Vanguard option for this deck. He's very consistent and very good, and teamed up with Cheragel, he's a 26 with every attack. Very good card. Not much to say. Yep. And then the last grade 3, sadly. No, I know most people would probably run 8, but I'm the kind of person who has to run like 15 grade 1s instead of 8 grade 3s, because I tend to draw really bad a lot, especially early games, so I like making sure I have a grade 1. So just 7 grade 3s, and that means there's just 1 Gigantic Destroyer. He does his job in this deck, being a 12. You can team him up with an 8, or team him up with a 9k booster, aka Slagle, and attack for 21. Again, fitting the deck's theme of hitting big numbers. Next, for grade 2s, we have 2 Flash Edge Valkyrie. This card works very cool with the Garamore. Summon Garamore, counterblast, summon Flash Edge, counterblast again, summon a 3rd card off the top of the deck. Yeah, it just lets you flood your field quicker, and it's pretty weak and very not so good when you draw it. So I run the only 2 because you probably won't do it more than once a game, and I run 2 just in case you want to do it, but in case you drew 1 and then you wouldn't be able to do it if you only had the 1. So there's the 2. Then we got 1 Slagle Sword. He's not fantastic, but he's still a pretty good card. You can counterblast 2, pump him up to 13, then he's teamed up with a 7 or an 8, and he swings over the 20 mark for 21 or 20. So he's still pretty good, but you kind of counterblast heavy when you have to use him, so you don't want to spend that much, but he's in there. Next we got 4 Gigantic Commander. His skill is, if you have more rear guards than your opponent, he gets +3, so he can be an 11. Being that he's an 11, he's a very important, cool card in the deck, because you can team him up with Slagle Dagger, counterblast 1 with Dagger, so it's a 9, so 11 + 9, swing for 20. So he's a pretty cool card in this deck. Another card helping you swing for big numbers. Then the last of the grade 2s, we have 4 Bauman. He's a beat stick, and you need him for the ride chain. Grade 1s, 4 Gareth. Staple, beat stick, help with the ride chain. 4 Halo Shield Mark. With such big attacks in this game nowadays, you kind of have to play heavy on the perfect guards in most decks. And then we have 3 Cheragel. I really like this card. This card is very good. Teamed up with Garamore, whether it's a Vanguard or a rear guard, you can let Garamore swing for 21, and if it's the Vanguard and you're limit breaking, you can swing for 26. I like it enough that I want to play at least 3 of it, since playing one as the Vanguard, teamed up with the Vanguard, and having a second one Garamore rear guard, and then this teamed up with it, and then that means you have a rear guard swinging for 21 and a Vanguard swinging for 26. And knowing this deck, your third column will also be swinging for over 20. So very good card. And then one of the most important cards of this deck, Slagle Dagger. Very good card. If you have 4 more rear guards, you can counterblast, and he gets +2. So if you counterblast 1, that means there's a 9k booster for the turn. So if he's teamed up with the Commander, he swings for 20. If he's teamed up with Gigantic Destroyer, he swings for 21. Very good card. Even if he's not teamed up with those people, you counterblast 2, which makes him an 11k. So if he's teamed up with a 9,000, he swings for 20. If he's teamed up with a 10, he swings for 21. Very important card for this deck. Very good card. Then last we have the trigger lineup. 7 crits, 5 draw. I run this ratio of crits to draw because crits are very good, very aggressive, good shields. Draw triggers are more consistent, being good on either player's turn. But I don't like to go 6 and 6. I feel like that's a little bit less aggro than I want to be and a little less defensive because of the shield. But I like the consistency of the draw triggers, so the 5 draw triggers together with these 4 heals means I have 9 triggers that work on either turn and 7 that are good just on my turn, but I still like having the more aggro of the crit triggers. And then last we have our starter, Crimson Lion Cub. So yeah, that's it. Just figured, since everybody's been doing Duke Dragon lately, I'd do an update on this version. Obviously, I probably still would play the Duke Dragon personally myself if it's more of my style than this one. But this deck can be more consistent than the Duke Dragon because you don't have to get the ride chain to get all of your pluses off. This deck just consistently does what it does every game, swing for big numbers. Whereas Duke Dragon, even if you don't get the ride chain, it's still a good deck. But the ride chain is very explosive. But if you don't miss it, the deck's not as explosive. So that's it. So thanks for watching.